The truth is hard to take, and especially when it's about something that excites our imaginations. When Donald Trump was elected, he kicked off DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. It appeared like a lightning bolt. It dominated the press for 100 days, and then it disappeared. And it's time someone told the cold, hard truth about DOGE. We're all convinced governments waste billions of dollars. Not just the American government, but governments around the world. And so when Elon Musk proposed DOGE, it excited the imaginations of people around the world, and especially in the United States. And it didn't take too long for Elon's people to find examples of waste. The word egregious comes to mind. My sympathies if your dead relatives are no longer able to collect Social Security, or if you enjoy transgender opera in Peru. Of course, there was plenty of complaints about DOGE. After all, if you follow the money, you're going to find people who are profiting from it. And it turns out that the people who were receiving benefits for dead relatives knew how to scream. In the end, DOGE was able to save American taxpayers $200 billion, and most of that is going to be year after year, every year. But is that the entirety of the cold, hard truth? I'm not so sure. DOGE certainly found examples of government spending that outraged Republican supporters, but did it outrage the supporters of the previous administration? I don't think so, and that's an important point. Take, for example, transgender opera in Peru. The previous administration was a big supporter of the rights of transgender persons. And so I'm not sure that that's an example of a bureaucracy run amok. Rather, it would seem to be the example of a bureaucracy that's executing on the plans of the administration. Now, if the bureaucracy is just making up its own ideas of how to spend taxpayer money, that's a problem, and that's something that needs to stop. But if they're just executing on the priorities of the current administration, then it isn't a matter for DOGE. Now let's think about DOGE itself. Was it a well-managed audit function of a federal government? I don't think so. Rather, it was something that I call management by outrage. The purpose of DOGE does not seem to have been finding the truth. Rather, its purpose seems to have been very quickly manufacturing outraged press releases, and the more outrageous, the better. They came fast and furious, and by the time one press release was fact-checked, 5 more took its place. Now, maybe something new and innovative is needed for auditing governments, but the cold, hard truth is DOGE does not seem to be it. But there's more cold, hard truth about DOGE. Were thousands, maybe even millions of dead people receiving Social Security benefits? We don't know. And the fact is, we might never know. Did the number of people receiving Social Security benefits drop dramatically because of DOGE? Again, we don't know, and we might never know. A Google search showed many left-leaning media outlets publishing stories saying, no, it never happened. They are united in suggesting, nope, there was no drop in the number of people receiving Social Security. But they're all on the left. Can you trust them? Maybe, maybe not. And this illustrates the reality of cold, hard truth. Sometimes it supports your most deeply held beliefs, and sometimes it doesn't. If you are a fan of DOGE, then there's going to be cold, hard truths that are not going to make you happy. And if you are a critic of DOGE, there's also going to be truths that are not going to make you happy. But now, the last cold, hard truth about DOGE, and that is, it isn't sustainable. It was set up and managed to be a flash in the pan. And some of the savings will continue for years. But as a government initiative, DOGE is dead. Is that good or bad? That's for you to decide. Let me know in the comments.